Hi, Hugo Reed. For a nonfiction book, I have this book. You can tell what that is, right? It's a snake. The title of the book is Green Anacondas, and the author is Grace Hansen. I didn't know much about anacondas before I read this book. It's pretty interesting. They are huge. So let's see what we can learn. Green anacondas. That's our table of contents, tells us what we're going to read about in the book. We can kind of see some of their habitats. So, do we think they live in the desert? I don't think so. It looks pretty green, doesn't it? Let's see what we learn. So you guys can see it. I'll move over a little bit. Green anacondas are the heaviest snakes in the world. Pythons are often longer, but green anacondas still weigh 2 times more. Wow, I didn't know that. The biggest snakes in the world. That's kind of crazy. Green anacondas can weigh up to 500 pounds. That's more than a male lion. Think when you go to the zoo and you see lions, an anaconda could weigh more than that. Wow. Green anacondas can grow more than 29 feet long. A school bus is 45 feet long. So a green anaconda is going to be about 2/3, which would be more than half as long as a school bus. Think when you're in a big school bus, not the small ones, that if there was an anaconda in your bus, it could go more than halfway back to the back. That's huge. Look at these. Looks like all of them are men holding that snake. And they look like they're really having to kind of struggle that it's so heavy, doesn't it? That is a long snake. Green anacondas are thick. They can be as big around as a human adult. So around the snake's body, around my body, they could be bigger than me. But long. That's pretty thick. When we think of snakes, usually we think of them as being a little bit smaller, but to be as big around as a human body, that's like really big. Big eaters. Green anacondas spend most of their time hunting. They have big appetites. They eat lots of fish and large rodents. They even eat turtles and jaguars. Look, here it is with a turtle in the water. Can you see the turtle shell back here? A big turtle, not a little turtle, isn't it? So if they mostly eat fish and large rodents, a rodent would be like a rabbit or a rat or one of those furry creatures. Green anacondas do not poison their prey. They are constrictors. This means they squeeze their prey until it dies. So remember predator and prey. They're the predator. What they're eating is the prey. And it's spelled P-R-E-Y. It's different than P-R-A-Y. And you can see if you look close, it's kind of hard since everything here is green, but do you see the alligator here? There's his head. And I can kind of see his tail, I think, back there. So he's squeezing it until it's dead. It does not breathing anymore before he eats it, so it doesn't poison, it doesn't bite it with poison. Green anacondas eat their meals whole. Their jaws stretch apart. They can open their mouths very wide. I think that's the belly of the alligator. I'm not positive, but look how wide that snake's mouth is open. Really, really big. Whatever he's eating, it's big, isn't it? After a big meal, the snake can go weeks without eating. It uses this time to rest and digest. When you digest your food, your body breaks it down and uses it for energy, right? That one is looking very dark, isn't it? And it looks pretty big because it has something inside of it that it's digesting. babies. Females give birth to up to 36 snakes. Babies measure 1 to 2 feet in length. That's pretty big. I mean, this book is this is a wide book, can you tell, compared to me? And it is probably about 2 feet in length. So when we think of baby snakes, usually we think of them more looking, like kind of big worms almost. That is a long snake for just a brand new baby. Now, I think of snakes as having eggs, laying eggs. But I know there are a couple snakes that give birth to live babies, I'm pretty sure. So that would be a good thing to research. It's saying that they give birth to up to 36 snakes. So they're not telling us if that's a live birth or if it's an egg. A good thing to look up. And this gives us some more facts and the glossary. Under more facts, it says green anacondas live in South America. I don't know about you, but I was kind of glad to hear that. They don't live here. They spend their time in swamps, streams, and other wet places. So when we saw that picture at the first, I was sort of right in what I was thinking where they live, but I wasn't totally right because that picture showed green. It also showed some wet areas. So I was kind of thinking maybe they lived in jungles, but I mean, maybe they sort of do, but they live in the wet parts of it. So that was kind of right, kind of not right on my hypothesis there. Green anacondas move slowly on land, but easily move in water. They're good swimmers. That kind of surprised me. I don't know about you. I know some snakes swim, but I don't think of snakes so much as swimmers. So for such a big snake, that sort of makes sense though, because it would be hard for them to move since they're so big and heavy. So it makes me kind of want to read a little bit more about anacondas. How about you? Female green anacondas are much bigger than males. Anaconda. You say that. Anaconda. Kind of a tricky one. And then it gives us a little glossary, which a lot of these words you might know. Appetite, the desire for food or drink. Constrictor. You see how it's spelled? Constrictor. A snake that kills its prey by coiling tightly around it, causing suffocation. Suffocation is when you can't breathe. Digest. To change food into simpler forms that can be used by the body. Prey. An animal that is hunted by another for food. Rodent. Here, this will give us a better description than I gave you probably. A gnawing or nibbling mammal of a group that includes rats, mice, squirrels, and more. So a gnawing, G-N-A-W. So gnawing is like rabbits and stuff, how they bite at things, and gerbils and hamsters. Gnawing. Thick, having a large distance between top and bottom or front to back. So they talked about they were thick. So there's some words you could use this week. You could say, I'm gnawing on my apple. I bet that would surprise your mom and dad. There you go. Let me just double check in the back of this and see. Oh, look. There is a code here. It's not so much about anacondas, but the publisher of this book is Abdo Kids, and you can use this code to log on to abdokids.com and access crafts, games, videos, and more. Actually, they may be about anacondas. So if you would like to learn some more, take a screenshot of that so you have it. I hope you enjoyed the book. I learned some things. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.